Hard but not impossible by Sara Torres. It was a sunny day outside, the birds were singing, and you could feel how the sun warmed your face with just one ray of sunshine. The flowers just started to blossom, spring was just around the corner, and I knew already that it was going to be one of the best seasons. It was Sunday, my favorite day. I had to go to church. I started believing in God at a very young age. He was my salvation. It was a really strange and interesting story, actually. One day, a woman came to me and said that my name, Daya, meant the one who follows Christ. The funny thing is that I didn't know her. I have always believed that that was God's way of winning me. Since then, I have always been very curious about God and religion, even more than my parents. They do believe, but not with the same passion as I do. My parents got divorced in their 4th year of marriage, but they remarried because things started to go the right way. That's the only reason why my parents believe in God. I was leaving church. It had been a lovely service. The pastor talked about marriage and how men should treat women. When I was about to go home, something catched my eye. It was a beautiful boy. He had green eyes, long curly hair, and was about the same height as the tower. He was breathtaking. But at the same time, something in me told me that he was bad news. But I didn't know him. It couldn't be true, right? I was deep in my thoughts when my friend Akin came to me running and took me out of my concentration. Didn't you know a while? He told me very excited. I knew he always liked me, but I just have always seen him as a friend. Hey Akin, I'm very good, thank you. How are you? How's your mom? She's very good, but that's not important. Come with me. I want to introduce you to a good friend of mine. He was very enthusiastic. He grabbed me by my hand and started walking towards the guy. The guy. Hi, dude. This is my friend Daya. Daya, this is my friend Sar. I couldn't mutter a word. I was astonished by his beauty. Hey, nice to meet you. I was so nervous and embarrassed. I was sure I was red as a tomato. What's up? He said in a raspy and cool voice. We were having an eye contact contest. Our eyes talked for us. Akin understood the situation and started to get jealous and tried to draw attention, but it didn't work. Sar, I'm going now. Enjoy your time with Daya. I could tell he was so jealous and angry, but I couldn't pay much attention to it with those beautiful big and green eyes staring at me. I started talking. He was really nice, nothing like I expected. We started to get to know each other. He was a really interesting person. We actually had a lot in common. When we said our goodbyes, he asked for my phone number and told me if I wanted to go get some coffee sometime. Of course I said yes. About him. I was eagerly waiting for him to call me and set a date for the coffee date. I got curious thinking about him. I grabbed the computer and the first thing that I looked was his name meaning. It's something I do when I meet someone. I like to know what does his name mean and if it has to do with their personality. I clicked on the first link and I got surprised with what I read. It said that Sar means one who is like the storm. I quickly closed my computer and thought to myself that that couldn't mean anything. A name doesn't describe a person, does it? Months have passed since Sar and I met. Things were going well, really great actually. I have had the most amazing 5 months of my life. He was the most amazing thing that has ever happened to me. We had our ups and downs, but we always got through them. My parents didn't really like him, but they just thought that it was a relationship with no future, so they let it go. But I knew that it had a future. Today, February 7th, was the month anniversary of Sar and I. He was going to take me to the fair that was downtown. When Sar picked me up, I could tell he was nervous. He wasn't talking a lot, but I just let it go. Maybe he was tired. We got to the fair and we started getting into the games. Sar wasn't as tense as before. We arrived to the roller coaster. I was scared, but Sar told me he would take care of me. We got in and we were in the first row, in the point of the roller coaster. It started. I wanted to vomit so bad, but Sar grabbed my hand and calmed me down. He was looking me straight in the eye. Something was different in them. I could see more love. When the roller coaster was about to drop, he asked me the only question I wasn't expecting. Will you marry me? The roller coaster dropped. I wanted to vomit again. The road was finally over. I couldn't mutter a word. I couldn't even look at him. A lot of things were happening in my head. I started to think about what will happen if we couldn't make it work. What about my parents? A lot of different things were going through my mind till I stopped and just thought about the most important thing. I loved him. Yes, I'll marry you, I said rapidly. Tears started pouring down my face. He grasped me and hugged me. All his feelings were being transmitted through that hug. I didn't need words to know that he loved me and that he was happy. I said yes. When I told the news to my parents, they weren't happy. They couldn't believe I was actually going to marry him. Amanda couldn't offer me anything. They were so angry at me. They yelled, shouted, and argued with me, but I didn't change my decision. They started getting tired with my stubbornness, so they just left the choice to myself. Just remember, we told you so. Don't come crying when he breaks your heart, said my mother. The wedding was held 6 months later. It was beautiful. All my family was there and it had the dress I always dreamt of. It was a beautiful service. I couldn't be more happier. You could tell that Tsar was the happiest man alive. The only thing that troubled me was the pain in the chest I was feeling. It will probably go away. We went to Bora Bora for our honeymoon. It was beautiful. I had never seen a sea that blue. We had a great time. We rode bicycles, used golf cars, tan, and spent all day at the beach. We were happy. I would never stop loving him. 6 months went by since our wedding. Things were going great. It felt like we were still in our honeymoon. We were thinking about having kids, but we decided that it was too soon. A year has passed. Things are still good, but not as great as before. We don't talk that often. He started paying more attention to his job. He says he has to because he is the only one that works that supports the family. A year and a half has passed. We started arguing about the most stupid things. I think that's the only way to get his attention. I don't know what's happening to us. I try to make things right, but it just ends in a fight. We don't understand each other anymore. I think he's cheating on me. I was going to confront him. I had my suspicions for a while now. He doesn't look me like before, hold me like before. He doesn't love me like before. I can see it in his eyes. He just sees me as a weight in his shoulders that he has to carry around. He hasn't been home for a couple of nights. He says it's because of work, but I know it isn't. I'm tired of this. I just want to know the truth and finish with it. I heard him arrive. It was now or never. Hey, he said as soon as he opened the door. Hi, I said shortly. I was so nervous. I wanted to cry. Well, where have you been? I tried to play cool, but a lot of things were running through my mind. At work, I already told you. He was starting to get angry and I haven't asked him yet. For 3 days in a row? You didn't come home, not even to eat. Where did you sleep? I told you I was really busy. I don't have to explain myself to you. Those words got me so angry. I couldn't contain myself. You don't have to explain yourself to me? You do. I'm your wife and I care about you. What if you were dead and I didn't know? You just think of yourself. I don't know why I even married you in the first place. I was shouting. I wanted to cry, but at the same time punch him. So why did you? Because I love you. After I said that, everything went silent, and I just said it. Are you cheating on me? I didn't have an answer, so I asked again. Are you cheating on me? No, he said in a low voice without looking at me. Look me in the eye and tell me you're not cheating on me. I was so sad at this point because I knew the answer. He looked at me and his eyes started to get watery. He tried to mutter something, but when he opened his mouth, nothing came out of it. Thank you. That was everything I needed. He was just about to say something, but I went running to her room and started packing. I left the house with my things. One part of me hoped that he would stop me, but he didn't. He didn't come running behind me. This wasn't a movie. I couldn't believe my marriage was ending. 2 years have passed since Sarah and I got the divorce. I was still sad about it, but I couldn't show it. I had to be strong for my baby. Yes, I was pregnant when I left Star, but I didn't know about it. I'm sure if I had known about the baby, things would be a lot more different. I tried to tell him, but he didn't answer his phone and he changed houses. Now that I think about it, I'm glad I didn't tell him. He would just have stayed with me because of the baby, not because he loved me. I needed to go to the supermarket to buy milk for the baby. No one was home, so I had to bring him with me. When I arrived, I went straight to the baby's corridor. I grabbed the milk and went to pay, but on the way there, my appetite grew and I wanted some chips. I was choosing them when a voice that I knew too well called me. Daya? I closed my eyes and I prayed that it wasn't who I thought it was. I turned around and I stiffened. My prayers were not heard. Sar? I said with a shaky voice. How are you? How have you been? He said, smiling and excitedly. I'm really good, thanks. How about you? I was just trying to be nice, but I just wanted to go running away from him. I'm good, thanks. He was smiling, and suddenly his face dropped. Whose child is that? He looked at me sadly. No, it couldn't be. Oh, he's mine. I looked at my kid with loving eyes. How old is he? 2 years old. He looked at me with weird eyes. 2 years? We had our divorce 2 years ago. He started to get angry. I could notice it. Let me explain. Before he could shout, I started talking. He's your son. I didn't tell you because you never answered my calls. I thought you didn't want to be part of his life. So I stopped searching for you. Tears started pouring down his face. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Please take me back. I was taken back from his words. I didn't know what to say, but I still loved him. Maybe this time we could be a happy family. It's been 1 month since I told him I'll go back to him. We were married. It wasn't a big thing. We just wanted to get it over with. I was actually happier with him now than I was before. I think our kids saved our love. We never stopped loving each other, and we never will.